Hello, everyone. Just wait till a few more of you get in the house. Good to see you all, and that's great. Uh, Energy update. Oh, many good things going on. We got 21 in here. I'll wait for another moment or two and have a drag off a cigarette before I begin. So it's in the least, it's been quite heightened over the last several days, which is great, really great. Hey, Wayne, Lazina, Hung, did you shower today? Thank you, Hung, for reminding me about my hygiene. What I was just considering as a joke was that I may need a makeup artist here. So if you're open and available for that, uh, can you please let me know? Just joking, of course. But I like, hair that stuck out. That's cool. That's part of what and who I am. Hygiene is important. However, that doesn't mean to comb your hair every 5 seconds. Yeah, we got a good crowd here. I'm going to begin. So, you know, um, I will say over the last week, we've been in a very high planetary vibratory state. Now, there's been some that have been also on the lower side of that, not feeling that. Um, but there are also reasons for that. We had last evening, Rada joined in, and Rada was feeling, not so well for a few weeks. Well, more on that. What occurred is that there were huge energetic upgrades and influxes of light that came in, and the physical vessel is under constant development and evolvement. And, it's not uncommon during this ascension for ones to experience discomfort. See, everyone's at different levels now. In the beginning, let's say several years ago, it was like several waves that there would be common symptoms in certain periods. But what's occurring now, because of the exponential rapid ascension in the process, that we have, ones that could be feeling sick for a week while another is high for a week, on high energy meaning. So we have a mixed bag with this at this time, and that will um, persist as we keep going forward. As one begins to awaken, part of that process is changing certain things within their bodies and their diets as well. And diets, are pretty important because it's the chemicals that let's say accumulate in the human vessel, and during this process a lot of that needs to be detoxed, and it needs to get out of there because it acts as dampening fields on your energy and also can short circuit you. So it's divinely assured many of that's uh, taken out through a process. So the recent discomforts, and I will share, a few weeks ago, I got hit as well, and by it, and we eat very good, high vibrational food, and we don't eat things with chemicals, and we don't eat things with chemicals in them. And I smoke cigarettes, but that's natural tobacco. It's no herbicides or pesticides sprayed on that. It's a pretty good product. And we keep our pH levels, or at least I do, up into the alkaline level, which is so important because, as we know, anything below your physical vessel having a pH level below 7, you can become prone to certain diseases. The acetic level or acetic level of your organic vessel is important as well. And as many of you know, there are periods during your detoxing and ascension process and taking care of the physical vessel that you will increase alkalinity in your water sources, but also in your foods through the various vegetables that are high in uh, alkaline. You know, that's where they are at. They are not acidic based. They are more alkaline based, even though they're still a carbon, if you will. They are of the higher forms and they are more healthy. So, having said that, during the ascension and the discomforts, the key to feeling better is always your food and your water, to keep that to the utmost. And I share that again with you. And please don't take my word for everything I say. If you feel that it doesn't resonate, then go and do the opposite. But what I can guarantee is, in the end, that my word is truth. But sometimes you need to do something different than what I say so that you can confirm it for yourself. See, part of this process is the human brain, that aspect of the consciousness needs to see and experience sometimes before it really integrates the truth of what is. And it becomes invaluable with anything in this ascension when you prove it to yourself. So, we have many teachers out there, and we say many things. And, one thing I said before, and I'm reiterating again, if you just don't believe me, do the opposite. So you get your lessons learned quickly. Observe and keep a journal if you wish, whatever you need to do. I'm all about advancement. And, I do love to see that sometimes when someone does the opposite, because then very quickly you eradicate that doubt aspect, which is fear, which is a lower density thought that will hinder you in your ascension. So it's great to do it. So, cool. Yeah, we got higher energy going on, which is amazing. And, I'm seeing more and more every day that are raising up to higher levels and more magic. And it is just so beautiful and so fulfilling and gratifying to witness such a huge uprising with this ascension and so many souls upon the planet. I believe the Schumann resonance is one tool that some of you monitor to see that, with incredible raises and gaps and things that are uncommon, or let's say out of the norm from the past. These are very important mechanisms upon the planet to gauge this. And I glanced at the sun this morning on the Space Weather Channel, and I see we have, let's say, it looks like a sunspot coming. So I was very gratified to see that, but there will be more. We need some of these sunspots to, let's say, deliver some more photonic light, getting ready here for the next scene in the movie. And many of you can feel it. We are under immense change. And it's also, I believe it's okay to say that we had a huge shift around last Sunday again to higher timelines. I know many things have changed since then, but what I also know uh, in the last few weeks, your manifestation abilities once again have heightened. And with that, even if you don't know they have heightened, I'm here to tell you they have. And I suggest be very meticulous in your words and even your thoughts. And it's great to always come from that good place, from the heart. So you're in a huge heightened manifestation period once again. And as we keep going higher, you need to get rid of old patterns, old ways of reacting that involve any negative or fear aspect. And as I said, fear, on that list of the fear spectrum of disempowering energies is impatience. That's even one of them as well. Frustration, worry, these things are hindrances. And let's look at worry for a moment, what it does to you as a manifester, a great co-creator. When you have worry, you are actually thinking about something from the future that you're worrying about and thinking, what if? Well, that change. You're a co-creator now. So if you got these kind of futuristic thoughts that are based on fear, like worry, into your head, you're going to be more apt to bring these fear-based thoughts into a reality because that's how you co-create. So one of the tricks is trusting. Just hand all those fears over to the lower dimension and say, I'm going with the big guy, the head honcho, God, and just say, I trust that no matter what, and there's no reason to fear anything. These are just some of the things to assist you during these intense energetic times for some. I've been so grateful. I've been riding the great vibration, the great wave here for the last a week or two, which is very amazing. But getting back to some of the discomforts, also what was occurring, what I was given, I know 2 weeks ago when I began to experience some of the discomforts, and I believe we were in the province of Quebec, near St. George's, when I started feeling them. And let me say that back then, a little bit of the information I got was that within this physical vessel I have, and I know of a few others since then, that what we were doing was increasing the immune system on the organic part of this vessel that is not crystalline. So, as we know, at this time, most of you are, the majority of the composition of your physical vessel is still organic. Really, at this stage, the only thing that is crystalline is the plasma in the blood, which can interact with the frequencies much more efficiently. So, having said that, you still have an organic shell there that is still going through huge transformation as well. Now, with all the capillaries and the blood vessels and all the tributaries of the blood vessels, it does generate, blood into the cell areas and replenish that, which is your crystalline plasma field that your energetic field also generates from. However, what I am saying is that there is still organics into the biochemical makeup of your organic vessel. And what I'm also saying is that there is a higher immunity process that is also occurring for some reasons. I'm not given all that information yet, other that in it, other than it's an immunity upgrade, which is interesting. But everything is good with this, and I'm on a need to know basis as I share. But it was very interesting to see that, and some going under strenuous upgrades with the physical vessel. So very appreciable, and to also, if any of you watching went through this, I can guarantee you on the other side of this, you are going to see increased benefits with your power or your organic vessel or your energetic field. So there's always a reason for it. And with this ascension, what we are doing, we're actually taking the organic vessel, transitioning it to a place um, where there is no sickness and these sort of things as well. Now, we have many individuals that are, let's say, all over the place with this. Most of us are going with these bodies we have intact. For the most part, I'm not given, but I do feel I'm taking this physical vessel with I through the ascension, at least into some other dimensions. I love this physical vessel, and it's been great to me. And that is so important as well, that during your transitions, that you continuously love the physical vessel you have. And the importance of that comes from the energetic state. If you don't love your physical vessel that you have, well, you are actually putting a negative imprint onto your energetic field by not liking yourself. But in the least, not loving yourself, you need to love yourself. And, you know, it's more than okay to love yourself. It's empowering to love yourself. And that's also what assists in keeping your organic vessel in an optimal state of health during this ascension. So you don't need to contend with all these unnecessary negative old acts and old reactions. You are leaving an old paradigm behind, and with that goes old habits and what have you. So, well, uh, yeah, I was rambling on about that. Let's get down to some more good stuff, eh? Hey, Kashi, it's good to see you. I just read Kashi. She's doing some very, I forget the name of it, Kashi, but it was very interesting. And Kashi is a very talented artist and much more. Her gifts are amazing. And it's so great. It's great seeing you, Cash. And hi, Nicole. Woo! Nicole Johnfrey, we visited her in St. George. She's very important. She's no, I'm not allowed to say what she's doing right now, Father said, but keep up what you're doing, Nicole. You know the importance of that. And Wayne Millette, juice in the body. Yeah, you know it's so important. This raw organic celery, yeah, juice it or eat it raw. You know, it's very beneficial to the blood flow and widening um, the arteries as well, and the arteries, the veins, anything you know that's carrying blood, the capillaries, the tributaries, all of these things, because what it does, it opens it up and it increases the blood flow to all the extremities, which also increases the amount of plasma that is going in these areas, which generates out into your energetic field again. But I've been there. Yeah, so great. I'll just scroll down very quickly. I hope no one put anyone didn't put too many questions there, because I got kind of behind when I keep rambling. There's a lot of feed going on that I don't generally look at. Hey, Dana, though I'm seeing this one. I love you as well. Woo! We're doing this, girl. So I'll get to a couple of the things. So, you know, this is all a really a fluffy, a fluffy, energetic update, because essentially that's what it is. There's just been so many huge ascension achievements, and you know, behind the scenes there are so many good things that are becoming ready, that are ready, and it's, you know, it's just constant what's going on. And again, I'm an overseer of this ascension, and uh, that is a pretty big thing, and I need to keep up on to, world affairs, the most important ones. And when we get to politics again, that is just yeah, politics is just so naive and childish, and that will be eradicated the way it is in our futures anyway, because it's not required. However, I still need to keep up to tabs on some things, what goes on with it. But let me say also, our ascension is ascertained, everything is divinely assured, and things must go certain ways. And sometimes divinity will put in what may appear as a negative event to get something steered one way. But the trick is, don't draw a conclusion on what may appear as a negative event, because divinely it's meant to steer something as well. And at this special time, what I'm kind of feeling is, let's say, with the attempted coup again against Trump with this impeachment thing, I'd love to see Trump just start unsealing all these indictments. Maybe that's what we needed to trigger to get them unsealed. But anyways, everything is good. We don't need just Trump here upon the surface. As many of you know, we have the galactics and the angelic realms, which is much more at any time when we need that. So, having said that, we all know we're not alone, and we know there's many of us on the surface. And you know, having said that, for everything you're seeing out there being revealed and exposed, even on what some of you may call the 3D level, I call it the 4D because actually there's no 3D left. But what you're seeing in your news and things is it all being revealed and exposed, all the corruption. And let me say, you would not see that if the light was not in charge. And I can guarantee you, and I know all of you know and can attest to it, that yes, the light is in charge. And what we're doing is cleaning up and steering things, to take the rest of humanity that are oblivious to what is going on into, a great place, a harmonious place. How long that transition is, I don't believe it's too long. And again, last night in the live, I said many of us were tired. However, things are getting better, and yeah, I still feel a little tired, but we come here to see this through. So this is what we're doing. So yeah, getting back, this was supposed to be about the energetic update, but that was important. So got a couple things wrote down. Yeah, the ship activity, and again, what I suggest for all of you, and even new ones, if it resonates and it feels right in your heart, call your ships in real close. Call them in the daylight as well. Let's get some more pictures out there to the ones that are able to see them. Now, I say to the ones that are able to see them because there's certain ones that, for the most part, a lot. No, I can't say that. What is the correct? Now, Father says that there's still some that their eyes are unable to see the ships, but what I'm getting now, for the most part, I believe many can see the ships. So it will be great to, if it resonates with you, bring them in further. Let's have a little display and a little show with that, and it's already occurring. And let's just bring them in a little bit further. I will share with you all that earlier tonight. I stepped outside of Betsy for a while, and I shared this with Sharon on speaking. Yeah, I guess we were on Facebook. Yeah, with her earlier. It's very active above me tonight, and it was that active and that busy that I have one ship going over, and it's just going like this, you know, going swerving around what were cloaked ships as well. So it was very comical. It looked like it was very crowded up there in this interdimensional space. So very, very active. And it's so good to, you know, when I can visually see these things as well. It's so important. So that was cool. And so lots of things going on with the ships, and again, you know, bring them in closer. And hey, one thing we haven't had up for a while, you know, since last winter is some lives of the ships. So where I have this timeline uh, on Facebook that only I can post on it. Any of you that you got new recordings of the ships, the Merkaba ships, and any type of ship, if you wish, send it to me in a private message, and I'll try to post it. It'd be nice to um, reiterate and get some more new content out there to share with others, and to also confirm to them, you know, that it's real. It assists in them alleviating their doubts, you know, the more they see again. And we have, you know, many credible ones that stand behind their videos and put it out there. It does assist overall. So, but it's for what resonates with each one as well. But it would be great to see that. So thanks. Well, RV, the reset of currencies, the reevaluation. Let me just, yeah, that should say enough. I'll just give a few winks. So cool, good stuff happening. And yeah, I got wrote down pink sky here again tonight. So beautiful. Baby blue and pink at sunset consistently. So that's amazing. Yeah, we're still rolling. Great. What else I got wrote down here? Oh, this is important. Power outages at this time. Let me say with that, there will be more and more here in the near future. So let me say any power outage at this time is not by chance. All of this is divinely orchestrated for very important reasons as well. During certain upgrades to certain portions of the masses, it is more effective if the energetic fields are lessened, especially what comes from power lines and EMFs. So when we wish to do an organic upgrade, if you will, sometimes these are knocked out. But for everything that occurs, there's always not one reason. There are several, and it could be several as well. Huge things are being done. How will I put this? Give it to them straight. Okay, I'll give it to you straight. What's occurring is with the energetic systems, again, they are being connected to, let's say, with your computers and all of these things, that the way everything was before is being reconfigured to the degree that it is connected in the least with your bank accounts. So let's see what occurs there with that. And not only that, what occurs as well, what I'm given right now too, is that as we keep going forward, history's change. Now, there are certain records that are kept electronically that as we go to higher timelines, some of these things need to change, and it is ascertained and assured that they do. Now, what I'm speaking about, I know maybe many of you are not getting this, but in the future, you will know what I'm speaking about, because you will see it. And you know, you could even say that some of these things you you might use the terminology, the Mandela effect may occur. But what it actually is the jumping of timelines as well, where things need to change to accommodate a new timeline. And it's a very intricate and complex divine way of doing things. However, I'm allowed to say this because of where we're at, the level with this ascension, and also what's transpiring at these important times, and mostly in respect to the world's financial systems and the monetary system and fiat money and digital money and all of that. Enough said. Yeah. I guess Father said get off that topic before I put my foot in my mouth. So good. Um, what else we got here? Oh, I tried a YouTube live a couple times. I did see there was a couple of responses to it. I'm trying to um, temporarily, while Garnet's working on our website to get that ready. I was just trying other avenues to broadcast on, and I had anticipated I had the YouTube live all set up. However, there's just something I'm not getting there with it yet, and I will get that rectified if it needs to be in the futures for sure. Uh, Again, what's happening. Yeah, what's happening with some of these other social platforms? I will assure you that divinity actually controls all the platforms at this time, even Facebook. It's controlled from perhaps another perspective that some of you, um, that it may not resonate with you. But what I'm about to say is that at this present time, there are certain social networks that have, let's say, have violated many laws, and one of these laws is conspiracy to conceal. But it has been done before, uh, a long time ago, and there's evidence of this. For example, when things were censored and labeled as conspiracy theorists or theory in the past and labeled as fake news, which actually became truth, it also saw that there was a conjoined effort by, let's say, some social platforms to prevent the truth from coming out. And now these are crimes not only against the country of origin where these crimes were committed. It's on a global scale, so it's very serious crimes against humanity. And also during these times of sealed indictments and all crimes being exposed, you know, in the least, you will see more on these. However, in the meantime, we always have what we need to broadcast. And what I hope to say is that these social platforms that very quickly they get their act together with the right employees in there and the wrong ones taken out, and we uh, we enhance these social platforms for this time. So we'll see what goes on with that. Um, yeah, so everything it's going excellent and amazing, and everything's great. Okay, I'll take some questions on energetic update, because I know we work as a team, and there's things I didn't write down, but I know um, through your also your questions or what you contribute here, we contribute as a whole to fulfill even this energetic update, and that's the way it works. I'm not given all of the information directly consciously. Um, you also have pieces of the puzzle that we put together and we share, as a whole as well. So, and that's the way it works, and that's the beauty about this ascension, the unity and the gatherings. The more we unite, the more information, the quicker you get it. You get the pieces integrate it within the consciousness, and boom, we advance another level. And again, that's why it's so important. Everyone gets their inner work done and contribute to their fullest to the overall collective consciousness, so we can make huge leaps and shifts, and um, don't need to stay in these prolonged um, stases, a state of a stasis, or remain stagnant. But we don't. As I said, the last week, incredible shifts. So Rodolfo Hernandez Jr., yeah, he says he got that message from prayer this morning. Upgraded immunity, what I spoke about earlier. Thank you for that confirmation, Rodolfo. Thank you. Uh, Algernon Rebecca Pacifico says, please, any meditation to regrow dormant hair follicles, how to heal hair loss. Well, gee, I got hair loss there. Uh, One of the great things is, do not have it as a concern. Know that your physical vessels are actually changing. And what I'd look at, a little bit of baldness, that is a little bit more effective at this time for bringing, let's say, more photonic light into the organic vessel. Having said that, also, some castor oil, I've heard, assists with regrowing the hair, but also on the energetic level, it's a lot as well in your mind that you can do it. You say, my hair is great, but what you don't wish to say is, I wish to grow my hair back, because if you do that, there's too many negatives in it. Just say, my hair is lush and beautiful, because that's the end result, what you wish to create, and you'll get much quicker to where you wish to get with that by manifesting it in that manner. However, just accept and love yourself as you are. You and I suggest that the most. Accept and love yourself. Don't think there's anything wrong with you. You are perfect, the way you are with it. And if you do need to change something, then yes, you're given your guidance. And perhaps in this case, your guidance is to grow some more hair. And however, what I'm saying is that you actually don't need it. And I would suggest, don't spend much time on it. But if you want to do it most effectively, just say, my hair is great. Like, look, my hair is beautiful. So that's awesome. And that's the quickest way to do it. I got to put that down. I'm starting to look like a crazy guy. um, Wayne Millett, he says, I heard that he mentioned the word quantum when trying to explain high financial systems. Yeah, again, that's back with what we were saying about the QFS. Just hold on for a moment. I got to shut the heater off, get warm in there. Yeah, this QFS is going to play a big part, and that's kind of a term that they're using, and I kind of use that term as well, but there can be a variation of that term dependent on what dimensional state we're in and what timeline we're on. So QFS is good, that's coming, it's recognized by the masses. However, I wish to put a bigger spin in terminology on it, that the QFS could also be the divine financial system as well. And, with the QFS, there's, as I mentioned, I believe I mentioned last night, there's great hordes of wealth in currencies that, not currencies, sorry, wealth and you could say bullion, PGMs, or whatever, vast treasures that were never included in to the current economics of the world. So there's so many ways that we can bring things in to create a huge abundance in the system. So if you want to call it quantum, then you're looking at some uh, extreme physics as well to do that. Perhaps we can do that as well. I say that it all gets done, and it doesn't really matter how it gets done, but the thing is that it does get done. So if that answers a little bit what you might have been saying, Wayne, thank you. Yeah, Cosmo Dancer, she says, I sleep 3 days at a time. Is this part of the ascension? Absolutely. When I was first getting this physical vessel in shape during the awakening process, I did. I slept one time for 3 days, which was amazing. I didn't realize I had slept so long. So yeah, that that is common. But what I will say, it shouldn't persist. It's just part of the process, Cosmo Dancer. So, but with this ascension, I got to fix that here. Yeah, I might have to get my comb out there. Yeah, with this ascension, there's every symptom you could imagine someone's experienced with it. And, you know, with this physical vessel I had, all of the symptoms in the beginning before I was awakened, it mimicked every disease that, yeah, that was possible. I know I spent a lot of time on the computer trying to figure out what was wrong, but I wasn't awakened then. But let me say, I learned a lot of things about diseases and medicines and, and all of this. And I compiled a vast knowledge on the medical fields and conditions. But however, after, all of that, I come to find out that we have more efficient ways to cure everything. And what I was actually going through was ascension symptoms, and there was no great diseases within this body. However, it was a part of what I had to go through, and many do that. And that's why we also need many more teachers out there when someone's just awakening or going through these processes, that they are let known that there is something unprecedented that is going on with their physical vessels. And, having said that, one of the first signs uh, for to recognize someone that may be just awakening is they'll have the block all under their eyes, where they begin to take in huge influxes of photonic light, which also begins to change that body. And one of the first signs, when any of you see that with someone and they may seem bewildered, is tell them, to get their shoes off and get out barefoot to ground a little bit of that energy in, so that it's not all within the body causing many discomforts. So if you see someone with dark underneath their eyes, they're just awakening. One thing that could assist is get out there and ground your energy. So that's a suggestion as well. Let's have a look and see what else we got here. Well, I'm 39 comments behind you guys. Yeah, Wayne Millett. Let's stop there. That's an interesting says, I've been having dreams that are like Star Wars, galactic fighting, etc. Is this possibly a past life vision? There's a couple ways I could answer that. What I wish to say is that, with your dreams, that dependent upon the level that you are at with your ascension process, what will occur is that you will find that you're actually, while the body is asleep, you're actually doing divine work. And sometimes it translates back into a dream, metaphorically, of what you are doing. So with yours, Wayne, what I'm feeling is that, it's not a past life vision. It's something you were doing energetically um, because of your connection to the galactics that was occurring at that time. Um, and what I also can say that it also, the timing of what you said also fits in uh, perfectly with something I had administered a few nights ago with the galactics too, without saying too much more. So I know, Wayne, and you're a big part of that. And for what we are, when you go to sleep with these organic vessels, we transcend all time and all space. There is no restriction with that. The consciousness has no real restrictions with any space or time. Darcy, nice to see you. Darcy Sakowski. Yeah, yeah, she is in Kelowna, and that's where we had, one of our first gatherings. And Darcy's very important, and everyone is, and just so grateful to meet her. And she has amazing stories as well. So nice to see you here, Darcy. Grace Savannah Thomas. She says, "Hiya, just jumped on at 3:03 in Glastonbury over in the UK area." She says, "Have you talked about food?" Yes, I did, Grace, a while ago. And she says, "I can't eat for 2 weeks now." Hey, Grace, this is a common thing as well. And what's going on, again, dependent upon the individuals, that we have what's the proper pronunciation or how you say it, but I'm going to say breatharian or breathanarian or what have you. And what that what that means is that one does not need food. They can breathe in the energy. They do need water. However, it's been recorded, can go for years without food. But part of this new uh, physical vessel you're getting, the old primitive way of eating food and breaking it down to extract the energy and the heat out of it for the physical vessel has changed. The more of the light body process that gets integrated within the physical vessel, you're actually able to extract right from the air the energy that is required to keep the mobile functions of the organic vessel going. Water is essential because, as you know, 97% of your organic vessel is made up of water. It is the conductor, and it's important to keep good water in your system. So you say you can't eat for 2 weeks now. That's amazing, and you're going through good upgrades with that. And I know several months ago when Sharon and I were together as well, that um, that we had periods where we were hardly eating anything and didn't need to eat anything. And You know, for the most part, right now, I don't really need to eat anything. A lot of my eating is out of habit and because of the sensations of the taste, but we really don't require as much food as you did in the past, dependent again upon the individual and how far your physical vessel has advanced. So that's common. Not common, but let me say it is out there that it is one thing. Okay, this is Radha, and again, she says, for me, it's been very hard last 2 weeks, pain and sleep, never left my bed, and today I had energy for the first time since 2 weeks, and everything is opening energetically. Got a job offer to do sound healing courses. Excellent, Radha, at a school here, and tomorrow. I finished my past life regression course, so yay, let the healing begin. I feel good. Oh, Radha, that's so amazing. I'm so happy you feel so good. I know last evening you weren't feeling well, but also, you know, you went under extensive upgrades. You knew what had to be done, and you kind of put a lot on yourself very quickly to get done. But it's great to see you coming out the other side, and I can feel the energetic imprint here from your comment where it's higher, and that's so great to hear, Radha. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's great. Oh my Lord. I'm 53 comments behind again. Yeah. Cosmo says, thought of food makes me sick, but my body is starving. Keep the water in it, Cosmo. Lots of changes is going on with it. And, you know, for everyone, and hi, Debbie Pillett. Sharon and I were just speaking about you today. For everyone, you know, follow and don't get caught up so much in listening what others are saying. Follow your body, what it needs, and follow what resonates in your heart. Also, you know, don't make things so complicated for yourself. If your body craves some sugar, go and get some natural good sugar. Don't get any refined or any white sugar that is toxic. But you know, if you want something sweet, try to make a good choice with it, and just follow your physical vessel. You know, I eat real good food, uh, high organic food and unprocessed, but there are sometimes I'll go and have some pastries, you know, that are kind of below not so good. But I watch what I eat, and when I do that, if I need to, I will detox more after the fact. But I always keep lots of water, and for it doesn't seem to affect me anymore as long as I don't eat uh, very toxic things like with white icing sugar and that stuff on. No, no, that's bad. Or fudge. No. So, but you know, that's I. You go with what's for you too. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down here. Patricia M. Carol Trudeau. She asked, cannabis or nicotine are you smoking? Patricia, I'm smoking nicotine. I don't smoke cannabis, and I don't drink alcohol, but the tobacco I'm smoking is a pretty good natural blend, if you will. So I try to keep that as clean as I can as well. Thank you. And Catherine McConnell, she says, oh, she's replying to Wayne, but one thing she says her at the end of it, she was off in another reality, and yeah, this is very real as well. So lots of cool things happen, with this ascension and going into other realities, and perhaps many of you that's watching did go physically walk into other dimensions or timelines or realities where things were different. And, the more that we advance these physical vessels, the more often this will occur. And also, you'll begin to hear more and more others commenting on it as well. And it gets quite fun. However, we get tastes of the other realities. However, we're kind of all grouped here and kept here to get this mission done. So, but you get tastes of what's to come, let me say. Oh my Lord, 63 comments. I got to go scroll way down. Mayhew uh, asks, "Hey Rick, nice to see you again. Where do you get the natural cigs in Canada?" Well, actually, where I get natural cigarettes in Canada is from um, native reserves. They have natural blends there. To my knowledge, um, in let's say just regular stores, there's not much of a natural selection at all. It appears it's all toxic. So I tend to go, where I get the most purest tobacco with it. Now, I do understand that some online you can order some in the U.S. that there are some places that has some good tobacco, and also there are ceremonial tobaccos that you are aware of, which are a very good blend. I had some from a divine one out in Manitoba, some ceremonial tobacco as him and I sat together, and let me say it was very, very good and uplifting, and just so very grateful to have that cigarette that he gave me that was rolled out of a very high natural and ceremonial blend, and it is very good. So that's where I get my cigarettes from. There's many places you can also get them from once you have the connections. But the things is that they are difficult to find in the stores because the thing is that uh, they like spreading the chemicals. And the governments and things as well will seem to support that before they'll support the natural foods. And we all know how this works with the FDA in the US and whatever they have in Canada. These um, again, what the government supports is seems in the past was the chemicals. But this is supposed to be a good uplifting one. I'm not going into the past. What's coming in the future, it'll be available for all. And that's where we're going. So put your intent out there, Mayhew, and you'll be aligned with it. Thank you. Lori Hartram says she smokes American spirits. Yeah, in some places in Canada they had those. I did smoke some of those as well. But what I did come to find out too, Lori, they weren't as natural as what I thought they were. Uh, I will say they were better, than regular brands. I did notice that difference when I needed to smoke them. However, again, they did not. Uh, they were not as good as the full natural ones that you can get, which is great. And Wayne Millett asks, any new twin flame information? Wayne, um, I don't wish to extensively get into that topic right at this time, but one thing I will reiterate is that the twin flame concepts, as you keep going higher, they will change. And Perhaps for some of you at this time, you may wish to entertain the perspective that what you may have considered a twin flame pairing in the past may have only been a catalyst. And this is only for some of you. Some of you may be with that real twin flame. But I also suggest to know that as we keep going higher, um, some of these concepts may change. Thanks, Wayne. So Grace asks, can I ask you to talk about getting everything we need, including vitamins, minerals, medicines, and remedies or placebo from the 0 point field? Is it the same as the energy I get instead of food? Let me say, Grace, it depends on the individuals with this. If you feel that your vessel is lacking, let's say a certain vitamin or mineral, and if you're guided, let's say to get some vitamin C or some magnesium, what have you, I suggest to follow that. During it depends where the individual is at with the process, but what occurs on the top end of it after you get through a process of putting things in your body, taking things out of your diet, and all of this, and also in conjunction with medicines and remedies, uh, it is always the best to go with the natural remedies and medicines. By all costs, for anyone, I strongly suggest for you to avoid any chemical drugs, any pharmaceuticals. Don't go in there, is what I strongly suggest. And, a conversation, I believe, over the last couple of days is that diabetes, it can be cured by changing the diet and also exercise with that. So instead of being on insulin and taking all these drugs, um, you transition your diet, and then you will see you'll need less and less insulin, and you will transition out of that. And also in conjunction with using the determination in your heart and the mentality that you are going to beat it, you also um, set your cells up that they will also assist you in overcoming these other what you call diseases and discomforts. So again, your diet and the pH levels become very important. And if you think you have an acidic diet or an acidic pH level, one of the things you wish to do is to begin omitting the acids out of your diet as well. And things like vinegar, apple cider, anything that is very highly acidic, eliminate them out of your diets, is what I strongly suggest. That does assist, and any citric acids should come out if you're trying to raise the pH level of the physical vessel. And during the course of that, in many of the preservatives, they will use citric acids. So it's very important, perhaps, to avoid some preserved foods that uses that technique at preservation. Also, having said that, with the sulfates, they become very toxic. Avoid any sulfates in the food, disulfates, any of that is very important as well, because sulfates with these physical vessels, as they began to change, sulfates is not compatible with the good change, and sulfates become as equally toxic as the aluminum and also the phosphates. So um, It is suggested to be very conscientious of your diet, but also what you're putting on your body in the terms of lotions, makeups, what have you. Do not have it chemical based. I strongly suggest have it plant based, anything that you are using, because also with the pores of your skin, wherever it may be, the pores upon your body, um, they become important conduits or portals for allowing energy to come in as well. And if you're constantly using things that are clogging up these pores that are not natural, what you're actually doing is making yourself weaker as well, and you're not extracting all of the energy that you can in through the pores into the body to maintain high energetic levels. And it is also at this point, I will say that, many living in the cities, your water is chlorinated, but go out, start getting some filters, especially on your showers, to eliminate um, as much of that chlorine as you can, because what happens with that, and salts, be careful, because they will clog up your pores. So you need to use a certain discernment with that, because when it also begins to clog up your pores, then you're unable to extract energy through the pores, and then your main form, then it goes back to breathing it in. So it cuts down on your abilities. So just a suggestion, but everyone does as they feel with that. And Susan Aaron says American Spirit Organic. Yeah, that's great. That's the type of cigarettes. I'm trying to remember, Susan, because last time I had American Spirit, like was maybe back in May, I had to get a pack or two. I believe up in Canada, I was unable to find the organic ones, but I'm uncertain on that. But that would be a better selection, yeah, the organic cigarettes. So, Gary Stucci says, Rick, please come to the Northeast. You're so close. Where are you at, Gary, in Newfoundland, or where are you at, brother? On Cape Breton. Yeah, I'm not too far from you. Okay, I'm scrolling down a little bit. See if there's any more questions. I've been on here over an hour now, just rambling. Everything's great, good things going on, and we're always advancing. Uh, so Don Bowers Cantor, long message here, but looking forward to income to flow. Uh, yes, Don, and one of the main things you can assist with that. By just keeping positive as well. Then you allow and be open. It's so important for everyone to just be open without expectations to the universal flow, to a sort of abundance. Don't have a selfish expectation you're going to get millions of dollars, but it's you only need enough at these times. And you're more easy and apt to manifest by just knowing and just be open to receive what you need. That is the best way, and then it comes more efficiently, because during these times you need to erase negative fear-based imprints by being selfish, uh, having expectations to great degrees and trying to control with your thought what you want and you desire. I know many say that um, if you keep desiring abundance, that you will create it. However, let me say there's divine restrictions upon that at this time, because what we don't wish is for ones that are it's not divinely supported to create a selfish abundance for one. You're more effective at just wishing someone else well and know that you have what you need during these times. So it's a touchy subject, and as you see, I will perhaps in that area contradict other teachings, but other teachings are for the ones that resonates with. However, I will not deter to something that I don't agree with, and in meaning that I don't agree with it for what I teach. So I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but that is how it is. That I agree with what they teach for that audience. However, what I teach is a little bit slightly different, and both of us are correct. It's just that it's not does not resonate for I to teach for someone to try to manifest a huge abundance for themselves. You're more efficient doing it higher consciousness ways. And even saying that you don't need it is one of the highest consciousness ways. Donna Hawkins says she tries to watch ingredients in foods, but it's not easy. Dana, or Dana Hawkins, sorry, Dana. Yeah, it does at times, because we do look at labels as well, right? Keeping an eye on the organic foods and looking at the labels, how they'll say a product is totally organic, but then you'll read down, you'll see preservatives or something in it which are not. So it is tricky. However, it is getting better, and we are transitioning there. And everyone again only can do the best that you can do, and that does suffice. And you're guided to what you really need at any time. Wayne Millett, how will you be traveling to Europe? We'll be flying, Wayne, flying from, I believe, it looks like maybe Nova Scotia. Will be flying from there to Europe, and yeah, and when we get to Europe, see what presents. We just go with divine flow, and I don't make too many plans. We're given the plan beforehand, or it's laid out before us, so it makes it easier just to follow. So great. Okay, Gary, you're outside of Boston. I'm actually northeast of you. Yeah. Anyhow, we'll see what occurs. It was asked last evening if we may need to go to the U.S. I just don't feel that right at this time. Oh, we'll see what happens in the future. Yeah, Dawn Bowers Cantor. Worthiness is key as well. Yeah, clearing out the old energetic thought patterns. Yeah, and that chatter, that is part of the process. Yeah, and that's how everyone awakens. It's doing that process as well. Oh, I love this, but Don Bowers Cantor says most labels are false anyway, meaning, the labels on the foods. She says, I follow how I feel about my daily food intake. And that's so important. And I totally concur. That's the best way to do it. I know I also find myself uh, when I'm in a store selecting produce or whatever, it's that hands-on thing, or I'll say, should I get that? And I get a yes, good, just grab it. You don't need to ask so many questions. Yeah. Woo! That's good stuff, Don. Yeah, it's all great. Okay, getting late, everyone. So, 111 comments. That's time to close her, I believe. And thank you all. And but before that, yeah, great things occurring. Many things I know, and many of you feel it are right here again to come forward. And it's a process, but it is occurring very rapidly. And let's say, I guess we're at Friday now. Next week or this week coming up is going to be very exciting, I believe, in many ways as well. We're all creators. You are all co-creators. That's what we are, and we keep our mindset very positive and keep it always high vibrational, and we make things happen so much quicker together when we have everyone in line wanting what is good and all the harmony and all of this. So it's great for everyone to keep there with that, and let's keep co-creating the harmonious future, and know that there's huge advancements that everyone can concretely see. You can see your confirmations. We're doing this, and it is being done, and nothing stops it. So very beautiful times. Peace, and I love all of you, and I kiss all of you. I blow a kiss to all of you, male or female, regardless. I love you all. I don't judge, and we're all good with that. And many winks. So much love, all of you, and much thanks. And have a beautiful evening, and we'll speak soon, perhaps. Good night, good day, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you. Catch you later. Have a great one. Woo!